Alright, let's go for the real ending this time. Okay, so, what we're actually supposed to do... Oh. I don't know if you're supposed to show a specific piece of evidence. Yeah, the videotape. Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? I think there's some merit in showing this evidence to that witness. Bailiff, please bring in the transceiver from earlier. Alright, looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence.
Yes, one is all I need. I have here a videotape. It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my client. I was told to protect that videotape.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client not to watch it, so I have absolutely no idea.
Actually, you're on this tape.
Me?
There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded.
What?
Is that true, Mr. Wright?
Who was it that planted a camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally. That was Adrian Andrews. Be quiet and listen, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Your client specified a place and time for you, is that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client wish to do such a thing? I would like to know why.
Why did Matt on Guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There's only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. Your client once told me something very interesting. They were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone, least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I can keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of... Yeah, you know what he said. What do you have to say to that, Shelley the Killer?
Oh! It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning.
Yes, by a natural. That's the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That's the true nature of your client. I have one question for the witness.
Yes?
You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all.
Yes, that's right.
But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then?
That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then? That client would become my next target. For the honor of the killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment.
I see. That's all I wanted to know. So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. I get it. This is how we'll turn the case around.
Mr. Wright.
Yes?
My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I'm not an item!
I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank goodness. This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I don't quite know how... Miss Von Karma, where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict. Mr. On Guard, looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You finally received the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy. But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video. Help me. Now then, Your Honor, the verdict, if you please. Is that all right with you, Mr. Wright? We finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there's no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. Well, he ends up guilty either way, but I like to plead not guilty for shits and giggles. Congratulations, Mr. Matt on Guard. Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Matt on Guard. Hold it! Please wait. What's the matter? If I get a not guilty, I'll be killed. I'm... No! Guilty! Guilty! As always, it looks like we've uncovered the real truth. We? I don't remember you helping out much in this. Mr. Redworth, how is Matt on Guard? He has sustained severe facial injuries, Your Honor. I'm sure he's getting a full-course meal of whip leather right about now. Adds a nice sting to the claw marks he put all over his face. Very good. That was a close one, wasn't it, witness? Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor. The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair. She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. This witness, how should I say, she has an illness. If you're going to say you choose death, that is of no concern to me. But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I'd finally been saved. Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I'm really happy that you two are in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I've ever felt comfortable with myself, with who I am. Thank you so much, everyone.
It looks like we've resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. And that's good enough for me. That's all. This court is adjourned.
You were great out there, Phoenix. What I did out there was right, wasn't it? This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time. But you have to look past all that to what's really important. You now realize that there's something more... You now realize that there's something more than just getting a not guilty, right? Yes, I understand now. Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter.
I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt on guard, is he guilty or not guilty? Those were your choices then, and your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you.
Right. Edgeworth. I have good news. Maya's now safe in police custody. Really? You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Oh, Mystic Maya. Mystic Maya's safe. You did it. You really did it, Mr. Nick.
Ow. She punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you.
I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her. Thanks.
Oh.
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
About earlier, thanks.
Ow!
Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
You lost!
Your perfect win record has now been crushed. And yet you're still happy? I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma.
How dare you?
Don't worry, she may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago.
Edgeworth?
For my own personal victories, and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner, and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I'd lost everything because of that. And then it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened, so I left the prosecutor's office. I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
As well as you should have.
A prosecutor who has shamed himself with his feet should crawl into a hole and die. But that was not what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change.
What foolish nonsense!
We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so, no matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
What? You trusted your enemy?
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses. The truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold in everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This I promise you. The truth. Yes, that's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me, this man who went into hiding, is that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me all those years ago, and you betrayed your own words. That's why 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
You pathetic fool.
Miss Von Karma.
I don't want to hear the... Excuse me. I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser. Von Karma is someone who is destined to be perfect. Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy. You're no longer worthy of being a Von Karma. And neither am I. It's over. It's all over.
Francisca threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver. Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe? I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right? Okay.
Nick!
Maya! Mystic Maya!
Oh, Nick, I knew you'd come through. You got on guard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I'd never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I'd just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Is it really easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Maya.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth.
I believe you're alright.
Hey, looks like you made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
Heh. Alright. I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick, food! Grub! Chow! I'm starved! I'm so hungry even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick.
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least. Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth, please. If you insist.
Alright, so how about we hit up our usual burger joint? Don't be silly, Nick.
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided we have to make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick, food!
Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
Gumshoe, are you alright?
Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I'd hit a telephone pole of all things.
A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy. I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking.
Yeah. It was more exciting than the very last episode of The Steel Samurai.
Thanks. Now, looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor. Don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight, even.
I'll keep that in mind.
Well, come on now. Everyone gather around. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lotta bought herself a new camera.
Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on, tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal.
Amen to that, pal. Amen.
You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective.
Me? You really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending.
Well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
What?
4? Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Ah, come on, y'all, it's over. But ooh boy, let me tell you, you sure are something else. Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh?
You think?
Why does she look so happy about that? But being shut away for 2 whole days. Weren't you scared?
Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So, to keep my mind off things, I drew a picture.
Sounds like you had it rough, gal. So where's this picture of yours? Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Miss Igmore's picture.
You know, I don't know where it went.
Aw, it's too bad.
Well, it's alright. There wasn't anything important anyway.
Ah, it sure is nice to see them both smiling again. What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up.
That's Miss Von Karma's receiver. Thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. Can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But, Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet.
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton.
I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me...
Wait, what? I just want to say thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there. If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right? I feel like words alone aren't enough here. Wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. What's this? Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her. You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job. Looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick. Hey, Mr. Igmire.
Yes, Pearly?
I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right?
You and Mr. Nick, I mean.
Pearly, would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me.
Anyway. So who's paying for this lovely dinner party?
As if you need to ask. Did everyone say thank you to Nick?
Huh?
Yeah, I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill.
Huh? Huh? Yeah, I got me in a situation like that myself. It's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. Huh? Huh? Actually, I reckon you bought it Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all.
Isn't it great, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, Nick.
Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Now, y'all don't need to hold back, you hear?
Yeah, pal, time to let it all out.
This is going to be the first time I hear the real you.
Go on. It's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then, if you say so.
You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Moya, Mr. Nick. I'm so happy for the two of you. Speaking of which, I think the hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made reservations for you two, just in case.
Well, pal, looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief, and it got me reinstated for my sake. I already said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society. I knew it. Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal.
I, Maggie Bird, am retiring in this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on. And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Huddy. Oh, recently, yes. That girl, I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it'd go crack! It didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Oh.
It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie. And so to let the world know we're serious, Hey, Max, what do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think their castle's made of cake and bunnies who can talk? I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Mo's jokes.
I'm ready. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears. I'm gonna be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls represent!
We got our new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah chorus. Say something, will you? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it. What's this?
Drat, it's just an ordinary electronic razor recharging on the stand. I can't believe this, really. How long do they Nah, but it's Edgy Poo's idea, so it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling? They wouldn't forget about me, would they? Dad was never like this in the old days. Everyone just thought the world of me. I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I got out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone.
It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity.
And there's still more.
Where are you going, Francisca? How did you know I was here? With this? That's... I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices on his coat, for example. That's just like you. I only planted it there because he's always wearing it. This filthy drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash, I promise you that. Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
4 things? It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket. He put it in here? It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over. What are you going to do now? That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up! You don't understand a thing. You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter.
Francisca.
So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what, and failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius, there's no doubt about that, but me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to.
You may not be a genius like your father, but you're a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to.
Right.
You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth. I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat. Since this girl you left behind will have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge. I see. You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today. I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did. Adrian Andrews? You're going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics, isn't that right? Today you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I've no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then this is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now, so you'd better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth. Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you, I'll take good care of this fourth piece, so I can give it to you when at last we meet again. Aww. Lordy. Okay. That was it. It's finally over. Phoenix Wright, justice for all. Justice was served, and the game's over now. So, if you enjoyed this playthrough, then no further actions required on your part. I don't know if I'm gonna get to. I don't know if I'm gonna get to the third game right away. But yeah, until next time, I will see you next episode. See you next game. See you next trial, etc., etc.